Gonna sit down so when I poo, I can also pee.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Somewhere!
for October 23rd, 2025. My name is Bernie Burns. Apparently, everyone says hi to her, so I say hi today. It's Ashley. Say hi to Ashley.
What was that? Is that drop like guys figuring out what it's like to be a girl all the time?
I don't know what. No, I don't know what the device
Like
is.
you don't
the
automatically
vibrato
like
device.
pee and poop at the same time. That's weird for me to think about.
No, that's. I think he was just doing that because we were playing Funky Town and he wanted that vibrato effect. But is that what it's called? Vibrato?
Sure, whatever.
I'm not a music person. You can't overanalyze the lore there, Ashley. It's just the lyric is so that it'll rhyme.
But it is a thing that I now think about is like you don't normally like poop and pee at the same time.
Yes, we do. What are you talking about?
Do you?
How are we in this conversation right away on a Thursday? I guess it's my fault for the
Because of
drop.
your opening.
For the drop. No, yeah, absolutely. What do you mean? What do you like, birds?
Well, no, I mean, I guess. Okay, fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's how ladies are, right? They're all birds down there. Like, it's all out of the same hole. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that is how female anatomy works.
Hey, so I want to follow up on what we were talking about with the saying hello to Ashley. So I had a heartwarming post on our subreddit, and it came from, I can never read anyone's name, so I'm going to try to get this right. It's PCJ Fro. I think that's what it is.
All right, PCJ Fro.
So he posted actually from, I'm guessing from his dash cam. I'm going to reveal something here in a second
Go ahead.
myself. PCJ Fro, and it was him listening to the intro from yesterday's podcast. And when I called out people for not saying hi to Ashley, he said hi, Ashley. And it's perfect timing. He posted a video of it. Him saying hi to you, you saying hi back, and then me going, I bet there's some guy in his car right now going, hi, Ashley. And I actually did a pretty good impression of him, I thought. But he had this thing. So this is some idea. Before I mention anyone's name on the podcast,
okay.
and like especially if it's from like a Reddit post, especially Reddit. I think that's kind of like in itself an endorsement in kind of a way. It's not at all, but it can feel like it sometimes. So I always click just to make sure. Click on someone's profile. Just a little. I'm not like going Snoopy Snoop. I'm just taking a look real quick. And actually,
So
on
it's
his,
a little Snoopy Snoop.
He had something on his
Tiny Snoopy Snoop.
He had something on his dashboard. I was like, "What is that on his dashboard?"
Was the dash cam?
Yeah, no, I was doing. Well, the dash cam can't film itself. I don't think. But I did that thing where I noticed the thing in the background, and so I thought, "What is this thing on his dashboard?" I went and looked, and I was hoping it was what it was, and that he's into amateur radio, like ham radio. I think. But like I said, didn't snoop too much, just looked.
Right, but
And
you also did the thing where you looked in the background.
I did the cursory check, like profile looked and all that stuff. I didn't like dox him or anything like that. So it's still noble. Yeah, but I've always wanted to get into like ham radio, like amateur radio, but I just don't have the time. I feel like you got to dedicate so much time to that. Like you got to go get like crystals and frequencies and somethings. Yeah, antenna. I feel like there's antennas. Like I'd have an antenna.
There's probably a middle-aged lady that we can hook you up with who's going to have crystals for you.
Oh, right. And then I can just use those.
She's going to be like, well, that depends. What kind of vibes do you want in your ham radio?
But that's how they get you, though, isn't it? And then how they put you back on the grid, right?
Yeah, that's how they find you.
That's the other thing I found out from
crystals.
Our audience yesterday. This is a quick community roundup. Apparently, a lot of people in our community have these 8 sleep pods, and they went to bat for them. They said that these things are great and that they are expensive, but that if you can afford one, it's a third of your life and all that other stuff, that they actually wake up rested now.
Okay, so here's a question.
I know.
So we're learning about this thing because basically it had a catastrophic failure during a tech outage.
Yes.
In which people could not adjust, Bernie, the temperature of their beds. Do you think you could just unplug it?
Well,
If
no.
it's too hot, can you just unplug it?
One of our users, whose name I haven't done my due diligence to check out their profile. They said that there was a notification from the company, actually, that they are working around the clock now to have an offline mode for their bed.
Maybe they can connect via Bluetooth.
When we created all these tethers to the digital world, I didn't think we realized that all at once we were going to be working to undo those tethers. Isn't it weird?
It is weird, but it's also to be expected, I guess. When you go oh, yeah, now I see how that could be a problem. So here's the big question, Bernie. Have you bought one yet?
No.
I know we're learning about it via this failure, but then you hear all these people talking about it. And I know that you like a cool bed. When we lived in Austin, you had this thing. It was called the bed jet. And I feel like it's it was
pretty cool.
Like the earlier iteration on the concept of managing your bed temperature, right? But it did it via airflow, where you had like a special sheet with like holes in it or something. And then there was this machine that would live like under your bed with this enormous like hose pipe, like an AC vent. They would go up.
It's a fan. Like you're describing a fan.
Okay,
you know when you're a kid and you take the box fan, which by the way they don't have here in the UK for some reason, the square box fan that you can get at Home Depot, as long as you go at the right time of year to buy it. Like sometimes a year, it's like you're out of luck.
It's like, why would you want a fan right now?
Or too late, you tried to buy one in June, everyone's already bought their box fan. Right.
Well, or it's like, I'm sorry, we changed that section over to Christmas decorations now, so you're going to need to wait until March.
There's like 4 things in the United States commercial market that are seasonal. That's one of them. Like there are not many things that are seasonal. There's a lot of things here that are seasonal. You get kind of jaded living in the U.S. that you can always have access to something. Box fans, for whatever, are seasonal. By the way, I've seen pictures.
Go ahead.
If your favorite seasonal thing, Shiner Cheer Beer, is back on the shelves.
I know
it's so good.
And
it's so good.
It's back on the shelves, and I can't have it. So I don't want to talk about it, and I don't want to think about it because I don't think I'm going to be able to get any this year.
You can comfort yourself with your 4-pound bag of Reese's Pieces that JD brought over.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. I did the math. I think it's 3 pounds. I think it's 3 pounds.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
It's 48 ounces, but it takes 16 ounces to make a pound. So it's really, does that make it less sinful? It's the same number of ounces.
No, not like, because you eat it like a handful at a time. I did look at it though. We should do the math on it. Like just look at the calories or the kcals on the back.
Absolutely not. I refuse to do that math.
I feel like looking at that now 3-pound bag, I feel like if I ate that 3-pound bag, like if I just took a day, dedicated myself, buckled down, ate 3 pounds.
Really showed discipline.
Yeah, real discipline in my life. And I ate 3 pounds of Reese's Pieces in a day. I feel like I would gain more than 3 pounds doing that. Right?
Right. It does seem
but that
way.
violates like the law of conservation of matter and energy, right? Well, that shouldn't be the case.
I always wonder that, right? Like when I eat something and I'm like, God, this is going to stick with me for a million years. Like I know like this, I'm going to gain way more than this handful from just eating the same thing. But it can't do it, but it must do it. I don't know how it do it.
Yeah. Like, how does it add more weight to my body than the
it
thing
is.
itself?
Especially because there's no way I can absorb 100% of it.
Or
right?
does it? Like, does it? Is that thing? I've always wondered, why isn't there a diet plan where you just weigh your food? Like, you can eat 2 pounds of food a day of whatever. Like, you will burn this amount of mass of food.
Okay,
right?
first of all, no one does that because that's 7,000 calories.
And I also want to say to the science nerds out there, I know that pounds are weight, not mass. But you understand what I'm saying here. You understand what I'm saying. This is not a diet plan for Mars, right? we're not near Earth orbit trying to lose a couple. So the other thing I want to point out too is I had another very friendly message on the subreddit. This is from Kebab Good. In case Bernie wasn't aware, the next Bobiverse book, The Infinite Extent, is finished. It should be coming in a couple of months. This is a weird one because it is an Audible-only audio book.
So it's only an audiobook.
Like
it's not a book. It is only an audiobook via Audible.
I put my only in the wrong place in that sentence. It's audiobook only
the thing
Audible
is,
product.
You can add a lot of onlys. It is only an audiobook only on Audible.
That is correct. That is correct.
So are you gonna I want to say listen to it. I was gonna say read it, but not.
I don't know. I don't know. It's yes, I will definitely listen to it. I'm not going to be rushing to do it. I felt like I don't even know. I'm on the 4th book or the 3rd book. I've read all of them, but the last 2 were very similar to me. I felt like all the beats in the story were very similar, and it is a series that I'm cautious about because we've talked about it before. But I feel like I've always made caveats when we talk about it. Like even when I was talking with Jeff Ramsey about a book because he was talking about something about like uploading consciousness to mainframe somewhere or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I said, you might want to check this out. Be like this book. But asterisk, it's like you have to really like Ready Player One. That's the closest thing I could say. If you like Ready Player One or you can tolerate Ready Player One and all the pop culture stuff in it, then you can enjoy Bobiverse, I think. So yes, I will absolutely listen to it because I'm pot committed at this point. Like I would never say like if the Game of Thrones books finally came out, I wouldn't go, well, I'm not reading those. You know, of course I'm going to read them. Yeah, it's kind of thing where I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely read it, and I read the first one. You'll know if you're interested in the series or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I fell off the first one. I'm not sure what it was lacking that I was looking for subconsciously at the time. But I kind of fell off it. I got into, well, I don't even want to say because, you know, it's like, I guess mid-book spoilers. But it was fine. It was perfectly good. I liked the narrator. I liked the concept. Some of the pop culture references were a little bit eye-rolly for me personally, but that's nothing new. I mean, I feel like when you go into pop culture references, that's going to happen with everyone. Like everyone will be on a spectrum of how much they adore it or tolerate it or don't like it at all. And there was some eye rolling, but mostly I could handle it. So I'm not sure why I fell off. Yeah.
So if you've read the series, when she fell off at the Archimedes thing and monitoring Archimedes, that monitoring of Archimedes just changed the name of Archimedes, and that monitoring is what it's a common thread through the rest of the books.
Okay, yeah. So maybe it's just not for me.
Is he in the first one?
Yeah, he's in the first one.
Okay. You read that's We Are Legion? That's the first
one?
one?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I guess you would know if you were at the beginning of it. It starts in a very specific way. You would know if you're at the beginning of it.
It's like I feel like I lost so many details. Actually, that has happened to me before. When I first started watching Downton Abbey, I must have just like put on the first episode of like a later season or something. And I was like, they just throw you right in the deep end on this one, don't they? I have no idea what's going on. People are like talking to each other about all this drama that's happened in the past. And I was like, wow, the lore goes deep on Downton Abbey. No, I was just watching. I just skipped straight to a later season. Had no idea what was going on.
Wow, they're picking this up midstream. I had a similar thing. I think I talked about this when we talked about Bobiverse before, but Audible, when I ran out of books, they recommended this series called Expeditionary Force.
Yep.
And I said, okay, I'll just grab this one. But it's one of those series where they don't put the numbers on the titles of the books, which is something that I've learned to appreciate. I bought it and I realized I had started listening to book 14.
Okay, so that's definitely a late stream.
It was like a balloon, like air leaving a balloon. I was like, oh my God, my enthusiasm was like, I got to read 13 other books in order to get to this book. I don't know if I can do this. Spoiler alert, I didn't do it. Yeah. Listen, that's a problem I can relate to because when we had, when writing Red versus Blue, you know, there was points in time I felt 5 years was a long time for that show. So we always had a philosophy. I always wanted to make it so that people had jumping off points in the story. Like if you want to jump off here, this is, and not many people will do that.
An emotionally satisfying conclusion for you.
I just think that's an honest way to tell stories over a long period of time.
Well, while we're following up on various things that have happened, there is a really lame parallel to the Louvre jewelry heist, and that. And that is that Spanish police have busted a criminal group that have been stealing chairs from restaurants.
What?
Yeah, they mean like the outdoor seating, like the chairs and stuff from outdoor restaurants. They've been stealing them. So
this sounds like more of a parallel to the guy who did the scuba diving heist of the restaurant in Disney.
Maybe at
than
that
the guys
scale,
who stole
right?
the crown jewels.
You say that, but these guys have been accused of stealing more than 1,100 chairs. It's not like they like stole a chair.
1,100 chairs?
1,100 chairs.
What? In like, I guess it was over it was like a spree?
In 2 months.
Give me a fucking
2 months,
break.
they stole 1,100 chairs.
Can I tell you something? This pisses me off. Because I've noticed, like, when we go wandering around, like, just went to Amsterdam. And Amsterdam has those outdoor cafes with a bunch of chairs and everyone faces outward from the restaurant. And they people watch and everything. It's really fucking cool. But then when you're out drinking at a bar at night and you walk by one of these places, you see all the chairs stacked up, right? And all the tables stacked up and moved to the side. You know, it's still their area outside the restaurant, but they had to move all that stuff in and take one of these big locking cables and wrap it all up and secure everything. And it's like, what a fucking pain in the ass, because people think if we leave a chair unattended, some jackass is going to come along and steal it. What do you get out of stealing that chair?
Well, reselling them, I'm sure. I mean, no one's just like stealing chairs. They're like, I'm putting together an outdoor movie theater and I just really need a bunch of chairs. So I'm going to go around and steal all the restaurants. Here's the thing too. I feel like, I don't know. I guess they're probably not being resold locally, but I feel like they could solve the issue by having, doing what the schools here do, which is like, all the kids, when you send a water bottle or like a snack box or whatever to school, just put a name tag on it, right? And then you go around to all the other restaurants and going, that's got my name tag on it, buddy.
Oh,
it's my chair.
My dad used to do that. Like he had a little like vibrating pen, a little etching pen. And anytime we bought anything in the house, he would etch his social security number on it. I thought that was a totally normal thing when I was a kid.
That just makes your social security number easier to steal. You get a chair and an identity all in one.
I don't think that was as big a deal when I was a kid, though. Like, you didn't use your social security number for anything but social security. Like, it never came up. I didn't use my social security number until university. That was the first time. And it was because of my student ID. And even that, they would print it like on the wall for test results. They would print everyone's social security numbers so you could find yours.
Because who would want someone else's?
Right. Well, I'm going to steal my social security. Get out of here.
And then someone like steals 1,100 of your numbers and sells them in Romania.
Exactly right. We say also here in Scotland, the kids ride their bikes to school. They don't lock them up. They just they put them in, like, there's this big open shed. We call it a shed. It's really just like a awning,
a paddock, a corral, a slightly covered to get them a little bit less wet area for the bikes to live.
Yeah,
but it's like they just put their bikes in it and then they go. There's not a gate on it. They don't lock it up during the school day or anything. It's just this is where the bikes go, and then that's it. There's really virtually no security, and we haven't had any issues with the bike.
And in some Asian countries, I think Japan and Singapore, the way that they mark their spot in a coffee shop, like if they get up to go to the bathroom, the way they mark their spot is by leaving their smartphone or their laptop there.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Because nobody would come and steal that. Like, no, it's just culturally, like, they can leave their smartphone to mark their place. And someone will say, oh, we can't take the seat because there's a phone here and someone's going to be coming back.
Wow.
And
that would never. In fact, there was just some big bust in London, I guess, where they busted a ring of phone thieves because there have been so many phones stolen in London. Here we go. Data from the Metropolitan Police released in August showed 116,000 mobile phones were stolen in London last year. That's 320 stolen phones every single day.
Meanwhile, also in America, I've got to get help because I got to unlock the vault that holds deodorant at CVS, right?
Right.
I mean, think about that. They can leave their smartphones laying around, and I got to get special permission to get toothpaste or something like that. It's ridiculous.
You know what else they've put behind one of those big like protective locking cases is apparently Warner Brothers. But if you can get into the case, you can just buy yourself a Warner Brothers.
I thought you were going to say your 30 skincare products. It's like national security. Like they're going to give Get Smart in order to get through your facial routine. Did you ever watch Get Smart as a kid?
I watched. They put a movie out, right? And
Steve Carell, right?
And I saw that. I didn't see the series that it was based on, but I did see that.
It's so funny. I
and
can't
is that
tell
Anne
you
Hathaway?
a single thing about that show, except they nailed the intro. The series intro to that show, Get Smart, has been referenced and lampooned so many times. I don't know anything about the show, but I can almost verbatim tell you the intro to that show. Crazy. And then his shoe was a phone, and that was a big deal.
Right, and there's a cone of silence that doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, was it Cone of Silence? Was that? I thought that was a Mel Brooks thing.
No, I think there's a cone of silence in it because I think he goes in and he's like, oh my God, this is the best day ever. And everyone at the table can hear him.
Oh, I see. For the Steve Carell one?
I think so.
I'll have to go back and watch it. Was it Steve Carell?
Yeah, it was. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I remember really enjoying it.
I just read that Jim Carrey's going to come back and he's looking at playing something. It'll come to me. He's looking at playing some role, and he's looking into
The Mask too.
No, he's looking at playing
he keeps coming out of retirement to be Robotnik.
It's not Inspector Gadget, but it's something like that. Anyway, I'll think of it. It's something like that. Jetsons. He wants to play George Jetson.
Jetsons. They're doing a Jetsons?
Jim Carrey. You know what? I love the Jetsons, and I love the Jetsons for a specific reason.
That it has a rosy view of the future?
Exactly right. Oh, Rosie's a great
As
word.
Also because Rosie's the robot?
Yeah. But it was the last time as a kid I remember when they would talk about the future like it was this cool thing. We couldn't wait to get to the future. And we're all going to live in the sky, and we're going to have flying cars, and our meals will be a pill, and we'll have this robot maid who does everything. He's got kind of a sassy attitude. It's great. And then the 80s happened, and the future is where everything goes to die.
Right. That's when everyone was like, oh, right, nothing good will ever happen.
No, it's from this point on, the futures where everything horrible is going to take place.
Yeah, it was a big turn.
Big turn. Even like, oh yeah, we got a spacecraft. Yeah, we have a spacecraft and we travel between the stars, and then an alien plants eggs in our chest.
Like
you can't have anything
they all
nice.
start off with like, you could do this and you can do this, and then a terrible thing will happen. So Warner Brothers, Bernie, Warner Brothers officially
check your pockets. We have a chance to do something really fun here.
has announced that it is putting itself up for sale, basically, that they are interested in taking offers. But what's interesting about this to me, well, there's a lot of interesting
I thought they were
things.
splitting up like a month ago.
Okay, yeah, that's part of it, is that like they've talked about that they're potentially going to split Warner Brothers and Discovery. So that may not happen if they don't end up selling.
It's like when a divorced couple decides to stay together so they can sell their house, basically.
But it's interesting because this Paramount Skydance that just went through so recently they said that they're interested, but Warner Brothers has now rejected, I believe, 2 bids from them. So they were like, no, bids aren't high enough. And they're considering other suitors. Supposedly, Comcast is maybe one of those. Supposedly, Netflix is maybe one of those. Neither of those companies are commenting. So
is that right? Because
could
the article that I read said that maybe it's rumor mill that Amazon had passed after Netflix had passed.
Okay, I haven't seen anything about that, but we'll look at. It's one of those things that's a lot of like insiders winking, and saying things, but the companies are not exactly issuing statements at the moment. So if you can find that would be. I'd love to read about it. I've just heard that those are 2 that supposed insiders are saying may be considering something.
If you just look at Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, that whole cast of characters, all those properties, DC's there as well.
Warner Brothers clearly doesn't hold much valuation.
It's got the potential to be a
Tunes.
Disney, right? I mean, it's like it has a lot of the same elements as Disney. Harry Potter's in there as well. Harry Potter's is essentially the WB Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of properties. I can't even begin to imagine what the price tag on something like that
No,
is.
I can't either. I have no idea what that would even begin to look like.
Like 20 years ago, Marvel, the rights for Marvel were sold to Disney for $4 billion, right? Mm-hmm. And then Star Wars was also $4 billion. But that was so long ago. That was like 20 years ago for both of those. And now it's like I can't imagine what either one of those is worth, on their own now. But they've gone through, a lot of investment and a ton of success in the case of Marvel. I'm curious. I'm curious how this will go.
Yeah, and
I'm also looking up to see what is the highest ever Kickstarter. Got a really funny idea brewing over here.
Well, and you know what's interesting about it too is they just announced like almost within the same day as all these headlines coming out about them being up for sale, a price hike for HBO Max. Mm-hmm. So like I'm
an instantaneous one, right?
Yeah, and it's like, are they trying to like increase the valuation as quickly as they can are they trying to not have people buy it? Are they trying to drive up the valuation so that people give them better bids so they get like the maximum, price possible? Like why did they do this so simultaneously?
It's so funny because even like what a mess kind of all this stuff is and how big it is. Even when you said the name HBO Max, I went to fact check you. I was almost
right.
like,
no, it's
but then
Max
you're right.
now.
But then
they're back to HBO
Yeah,
Max.
but now you're right. I was like, my instinct was, oh, she said that wrong because
because they've been through so many rebranding details.
Different changes and stuff like that. What happens if Disney decides to buy WB?
I wonder if Disney's even in a place to. Right
I mean,
now.
if you had DC and Marvel under the same roof, you could make some mega properties, dude. You don't think like a DC versus Marvel movie, like a Justice League versus Avengers, just by itself? They could do that in like a multi-studio deal, but just having that alone is like, we can make this work.
James Gunn's like, son of a bitch.
Bugs Bunny and
I just quit, you guys.
all right, now I'm back in. But to be fair, after he got fired from Marvel,
then I know he was back in, and then he left.
He did really well with that.
He did great. He
well.
came out of that thing like in the best scenario possible, I think.
Yeah, we got to watch Superman again. I think I've watched that Mr. Terrific fight in Superman.
I really like it.
I've watched it like 20 times, and I can't tell you what it is that I like so much about it. Like, I can't pinpoint any specific thing in it. 50% of that fight is like a reaction shot of Lois Lane. And even that's compelling. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like, it just, whatever that aesthetic is, he nailed it. He just nailed it.
It's really, no, it's good. I like a lot of things about it. And I think it could use a rewatch. Do you think Finn would like it, or do you think that's still a little bit too old for him?
No, man, I got to admit that I'm having a little bit of failing as a father, because we went to go play Lego Star Wars, and he doesn't know anything about Star Wars. Like, he didn't know who the guys with the swords were.
Yeah, no, we need to fix that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, because JD's here, and I thought this will be fun, because I used to sit, me and JD, on the couch when Teddy was still a baby. We would sit on the couch when JD was like 4 and 5. We played Lego Star Wars, and we have like 100% of the achievements in like all the Lego Star Wars games. And it was so much fun. And so while he's here, we're like passing the torch now, and like we're going to be playing that with Finn. But then Finn doesn't know the movies or anything like that. You know what I mean?
So the first thing to do is hook him into the canon and get him to enjoy this all the Star Wars stuff. You know what? He's definitely of an age to enjoy pod racing.
Listen, I make fun of the prequels. It's only because I was one of those fans who was like, Star Wars is for me and for me only. And then, of course, the millennials who all grew up watching the prequels, they all love them. Remember Andy at Rooster Teeth?
Absolutely.
Adored the prequels. And I was like, he gave me so much more of an appreciation for the prequels than I had just watching them myself. And I realized it was 100% my own stupid, like, nerd cynicism. That's all it was.
Right. And it's like at its heart, they were originally like films for not kids, but like younger people, right?
Yeah.
And then the prequels, like pod racing, that segment is definitely for kids. Well, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors today, JTJR01 and Michael Kennedy. Thank you both so much for sponsoring this episode of our show at patreon.com/morningsummer.
I would leave my smartphone unattended around both of them. That's how much
That's how much you're trusted.
Hope that doesn't sound too parasocial. All right, that does it for us today, October 23rd, 2025. We're going to be back to talk to you tomorrow. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye, everybody.